Welcome, another edition of What the Fuck, happenings in the YouTube atheist community, plus some others. Kind of a weird week, really kind of strange, so I guess I'll start with Mel's basket case. Talking about a little strange, but Mel's okay. Look, Mel, you were unblocked a while ago, so there's no real hard feelings between us. I get a little uncomfortable when we interact because I don't have as much control as I like over that interaction, and it's not your fault. It's just it's just the circumstance. So whatever. But I appreciate what you said. It's nice to hear. Obviously I wouldn't say I'm that useful as an example of anything. And the truth be told, you're the real example. I mean, you've got these liabilities, and you have the guts to put it out there and to let people take their shots. And even though you have this vulnerability to paranoia and a lot of things, you accept that, and that takes real courage, and I respect that. And it's valuable, I think, to people who really give a shit about knowing the truth or knowing reality or knowing people at all, to have you on YouTube. I mean, it's important that all kinds of people be represented here, not just some constituency that has the loudest voice or is the most animated or the most eccentric or the most charming or the most something. Everything should be here, and everything should be as honest as possible. So anyway, that's whatever. Thanks and thank you, really. But anyway, moving past that, it does kind of lead to the next subject, because there's another awkward circumstance where, the Dave guy, whatever he is, the entertainer, he made a video about, like a last will and testament kind of video. This is how I'd like you to remember me. This is how I'd like you to treat me if I'm, a vegetable or something, that kind of stuff, which is good to do. For some of us, I guess it's already been done, in the sense that we've already talked about most of those kind of issues in our videos, some of us, and so, it's not something we need to do. And then the whole how you're going to be how you're going to be remembered kind of thing is always kind of tricky anyway, because realistically, as I would look at it from a universal perspective, you're either going to be a success or a failure in your life. As funny as it sounds, it's a pass and fail kind of game. You either lived a good life or you didn't, and a good life is going to be more than whether or not you were happy. A good life is going to be defined as what your impact was on other people, and what kind of environment you created for other living people and for the future. And we can all have subtle impacts on these things without knowing it in our day-to-day lives. We can be deciding destinies, and some of it we don't see, but it's there. And that's really what's going to be the end. That's the real game. I mean, how somebody remembers you is a little bit trite compared to what the actual fact of your existence is. I mean, somebody might have finally remembered Adolf Hitler, but his actual existence was pretty shitty. So anyway, like even his parents, they could have been really nice people, but they fucked up in having the bastard crappy child kind of thing. Their destiny, their legacy was ruined by the shit they imposed on the world. But anyway, I mean, that's probably making it more complex than it already is. So anyway, the Amazing Atheist did make a response video. And what's this kind of funny? Because he seems to be struggling with identifying who he is. And I found that kind of funny. It's not my right to be, find it funny, but it surprises me when he says some things like, he'd like to be married and have kids, and it's like there's nothing in anything he shows us that demonstrates any patience whatsoever for those kind of commitments. I mean, just absolutely no patience for any of that shit. He's just about sick of just about everything that would have anything to do with being able to pull that off. Because that takes compromising yourself to pieces. I mean, you cannot be a good parent or a good husband unless you're willing to compromise a lot. And he's got way too big, monstrous an ego to do any of that. So I just find that a little bit stupid. His other videos were, he did a, you know, a best of Just About Sick that was about 3 years long. That was kind of pointless redundancy. And he did tear McCain apart, which is pretty good in one video, but he says he's going to tear Obama apart in the next video, so what's the fucking point? You know, you believe one of these guys is better than the other guy, and the idea is to get the better guy elected, so it's not a time to be fair and proportional. It's a time to do what's politically necessary. But whatever, do whatever the fuck you want, who the fuck cares? But the other thing he did is he's been promoting Cody videos. You can really see it in the numbers of, you know, Cody's videos. He got some with, you know, 25,000 views because he got featured by the Amazing Atheist, and he pointed to his little song thing or something because he's selling some songs for $4. Just so $4 is kind of expensive for a couple of amateur songs. I mean, you know, realistically, you can buy something by professionals for $4 or $5. But anyway, whatever. And his other videos were just, you know, doing the outrageous thing. So maybe he's taking lessons from the Amazing Atheist, and let's just all be outrageous. You know, let's wear a dress, and let's try to push the envelope and ask people impossible questions like, who are you? What are you? You know, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, I can figure that out. I can give you an answer in, you know, 15 seconds. Yeah, fuck that shit. You know, and like he's just right on the edge, man, and, you know, philosophically, intellectually, he's just really got it all nailed down. You know, and he's a guy who has to go get a snow cone every day. You know, whatever. You know, whatever. It just seems a little bit, little over the top, we'll just say. But anyway, so moving on, the other big kind of controversy thing or whatever is this Venom Fang X Thunderfooty guy thing. Because apparently Venom Fang X did DMCA a couple of this Thunderfoot guy's videos. And apparently the videos do have Venom Fang X image in them, so in that sense they're probably legitimate for him to make the claim. But it's obviously not legitimate if he doesn't intend to go to court. So if he's lying about intending to protect his copyright in court, then he really didn't have a right to file the DMCAs, because part of what you're signing off to is an obligation or a promise that you're going to protect your rights legally. And if you don't intend to do that, you have no business filing the DMCA. I mean, it's basically illegal to file it if you don't intend to do the court thing. So he's sort of nailed on that. So you know, who knows where it's going to go. I haven't seen any evidence that, you know, Thunderfoot kind of thinks that YouTube is going to suspend his account or something if Thunderfoot says suspend that guy's account. I don't see that happening. I haven't seen it happen in the past. I haven't seen anybody else get suspended for filing DMCAs. So good luck on that one, but I don't think it's going to happen that way. But anyway, well, so at least there's a little bit of interest. The Jesus jerk freak guy, you know, he did a video in support of Venom Fang X, of course, even though he doesn't know anything about the law and doesn't know anything about what Venom Fang X did. He has an opinion anyway, which was kind of funny. And he threw my name in the end for no good reason whatsoever. And that, oh yeah, we can have a vile lawsuit filing contest between me and Thunderfoot to how evil we are because we actually want to defend our rights in court. What an outrage to use the courts to defend your fucking rights. God damn, we should put a stop to that. That's not what the fucking courts are for. It's just so fucking stupid. Alright, Captain Awesome, not much to say there. He did one silly video where he, you know, showed his muscles and stuff. He says he's 6'1" and weighs 135 pounds. I just found that incredible, because I was a pretty skinny guy. I'm 6'1" and I weighed 155 pounds. And it's hard to imagine 135 pounds. That's really scrawny. But whatever. He says that's the way it is, and that's the way it is. But okay, then he really is a skinny motherfucker. So anyway, but whatever. I mean, you know, it seems kind of desperate that he has to kind of prove that he's macho man when, you know, he's still gonna look kind of silly next to Hulk Hogan or something. He's still gonna look like a little runty little person. I mean, aren't we all? But whatever. Do what you have to do, I guess. It's your image. Protect it if you must. Cross's board guy finally did come out and say who he believes politically he's going to be voting for, supporting, and that was Obama, but he did all the tally and the numbers, two-part video. And really what it comes down to is, you know, the tiny little bit of a tax issue and a big giant little gun rights issue and a couple other little things, and all the rest of them are really Obama wins. So really there's no game here. I mean, the only people voting for McCain are lunatics. I mean, you got to be a Christian lunatic, or you got to be some kind of so fucking obsessed with your fucking gun paranoia that you can't even stand the prospect that they, oh, what, they might give us drug tests on guns or something. I mean, whatever whatever your fear is, but it's just sick and sad that you'll destroy the United States of America to protect your silly obsession with a device that will serve you no use in the end. Okay, the good people aren't going to be shooting each other to survive. It just isn't going to happen. So the cockroaches are going to win.